Yeah, that's right. I went down that road. Let's see, maybe not. Back it up just there. Ah. Shit. There. Now you can see me. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Today, I am thinking about some of the stuff that's been going on in the news, some advocacy stuff, like Michigan right now. Just discovered that they're banning like all flavors, which I think is really fucked up. A lot of these teenagers getting sick from vaping because they're vaping stupid CBD shit that they have no idea what the hell it is they're taking in. And all that other jazz has been going on. A little bit of vaping etiquette. And then, in my opinion, the best chargers that you can buy. God, I had burritos for supper. Some of it was stuck in my tooth. Ugh. It's not taste very good. And the trash goes. I don't like stainless steel, that's why I don't like these. So, we'll be doing some talking. I'll do a relook. I kind of want to talk. So, there's a lot of people around lately that have been really scared to keep vaping. They've been nervous because, I keep reading all these things on the news, seeing that kids are getting hurt, lung damage, and all that kind of stuff. Well, if you dig fairly deep into what's been going on, you'll discover that it has absolutely nothing to do with nicotine vaping, which is what it is that we vape as vapors. Use as a smoking cessation or cessation tool, and it does get fairly frustrating knowing that whenever we how do I want to put this, as we get put kind of as like the headliners of vaping's bad for you, even though they have literally no fucking clue what the hell it is they're talking about. And that's what it is that we have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. Is people that don't know what it is they're really talking about. And the real question is how do we deal with it as vapors? How can we be polite yet informative to people who have no clue what the hell is really going on, in the world of vaping? I think that it's really important that we're able to educate others, but also while being polite, because there's nothing worse than seeing someone just being a total asshole about, you don't know jack shit, you don't know what you're talking about, you're just a nobody who doesn't know vaping. It's like, dude, shut up. And you're not making any of us look any better. So just be polite, for the love of God. We'll also be going over this beautiful creation that I have here. A Unicorn MDX 3-in-1 Mech Mod and RDA. It's really fucking nice. And I'm really pissed because I got my RDA stuck on top of that little top cap. I can't get it off. It makes me cry. So, you know, how do we deal with it? How do you deal with people that are going to be rude and that they're disrespectful? Well, there's a couple different things you can do. Yeah, excuse me. One, which 9 times out of 10 is the best approach, simply because they don't want to listen, is ignore them. They're going to come after you and be like, oh, you don't understand what vaping is and how dangerous it is. It's so much worse for you than smoking. And see, because like I got people that I work with who they will sit there and tell me that every single time I go out for a vape break. On break, I go out, I grab my vape, like, oh, I've heard those things are just so much more worse for you. They're so much more worse for you. They're worse for you than, you know, just even regular cigarettes are. And I'll straight up just be like, actually, the science tells us otherwise. Like, we know that they're 95% healthier or less harmful than cigarettes are. We know that. It's been proven by science. And they'll just sit there just, well, I don't know if I believe that. I'm like, so you don't believe doctors that say that? You know, the College Board of Physicians that say that? Oh, I don't know. That's just a different study. I don't know if I believe that. Blah, 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 blah. It's just like, you're just going to do yourself a better favor if you just ignore them. Or, if you do respond, just be polite. You know, don't sit there and, you know, get right up in their face. Oh, you're an idiot. You're fucking dumb. You know, don't be someone that loves Trump. Okay? Don't be one of those fucking idiots that just gets into everyone's face. They got absolutely nothing better to fucking do. Okay, just be polite. Be the bigger person. Because once you're the bigger person, it just shows that that's how much of an asshole they really are. And our goal is not to be the asshole. Our goal is to be the bigger person. Because we're not going to win people over by being the asshole. I can guarantee you that much. Just a little bit of snip. And a little bit of snip. It's the best way to handle it. It's just a good old fashioned kill them with kindness. Because at the end of the day, their beliefs, what they think, they're always going to believe that they're correct, no matter what. And it's not fucking worth wasting your time. It's not worth wasting your breath over someone that doesn't give a shit, who isn't going to change their opinion, even if you present them with facts. So all I have to say is that be polite, and then after that, it's up to them. If they want to be a dick, let them be a dick. Don't worry about them. It's not your job to worry about them. It's your job to worry about continue to vaping and to quit smoking. Now, every now and again, you might get someone who's like, oh, what's that? Ooh, that smells really good. You know, I get people that ask me that all the time, which I think is really cool. Like, that's what I like about vaping, when they're like, oh, that smells fucking delicious. I'm just like, oh, fuck yeah, it smells delicious. It's really good. Like some kind of lemonade or something. You know, but otherwise, I just leave it at that. Like, I have people that I work with that, you know, they just despise, vaping. Like during the winter, we have a little smoke shack you can go out with, and you'll have, 7, 8 people that are out there smoking, and then I'm just sitting there like being the only person that's vaping, and I'm considered the rude one because, oh, that vapor is just so bad for you. Oh, it's just so bad for you. And you just kind of got to learn how to bite your tongue, because otherwise, people don't give a shit. They're not going to be nice. They're not going to be polite or considerate. And that's just what it is we have to deal with as vapors. Just so like you don't go and start blowing clouds in like restaurants or other public places where there's a lot of people, so people are going to get offended. We don't want to bring that whole idea that vapors are just a bunch of dicks just because, well, we know that it's safer, so it doesn't matter. That's not the point. We might know it's safer, but a lot of other people don't give a shit. And it's our job to not make ourselves look like a bunch of fucking dickheads just because of how we feel about it, what we know about it. Just take any religious group of people, even though they might truly believe that their religion is a true religion, or the only religion that there is. You don't go around and get up in their face and be like, no, religion's not real. Your religion's bullshit, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you just don't do that. So that's called being an asshole. And this juice, this bottle is like fucking thicker than a 12-inch steak dick. Ow. Barely getting like any in there. See if I can make it a little bigger. You'll have to excuse my being all over the place. There's a simple rule. You can't smoke, don't vape. I'm scared shitless this. I'm getting there. It's just being really fucking slow. Alright, so that's done. One less thing I have to worry about now. In case anyone's wondering, I'm watching a regular show. My girlfriend got me into it, which, good for her. I like it. It's interesting. It's funny. 95 watts. Pop it back on. Delicious. Fucking yeah. That's that done. I've had the luxury of picking up some new devices to check out. I figure I'll probably go over some of them with you. Give you my opinion It's not like people really care about anyone's opinion, but figured I'll go over some of these devices that I picked up that I got. Let's see here. We got the 0.8 mesh, 0.80 mesh coils for the Horizon Q. The Horizon Tech Magical Pod Kit. I got the Golden Ratio by 1, which it's alright. It's an okay draw. You know, there's nothing special about it. Nothing like, oh my god, I've never had this before. It's just is what it is, I guess. You know, I like it wide open. It's not bad for like clouds and shit, but you know, for a pod, and the coil is insanely annoying to get put back in there, but otherwise, you know, it's not a bad device. You can pick it up and kind of vape on it throughout the day. You know, pick it up here, there. Do with it as you please. But this one, the Magico Pod Kit, I'm really digging. First couple hits are a little spitty. You know, they're a little kind of flooded, but then once you kind of vape right through it, you know, then it, you know, hits just fine. But you just kind of got to get through that initial condensation buildup. And the vape's really good. I got what do I have in here? Sour Melons by Aqua, or whatever it's called in here. Battery life isn't, you know, it's considering the fact that, you know, it's like a 6.5 mil tank, and then the rest is just all like battery. It's like a 1300 mAh battery, which is, you know, it'll last you all day. You know, really good clouds and really good flavor. You can just pop it right out. There's your air control, your AFC. You know, and I just have it wide open, and you get, you know, really good flavor all day on this coil. Oops, right in the camera's way. You don't need to get that up close and personal. Grip, pop paint, do whatever. Funny story about this, right? I got it. You know, I wasn't able to get it, you know, until like at night when I got home from work. So I wasn't able to put a build in it because I had to go to work the next day in the morning. I was like, oh, I'll put a build in it when I get into work. You know, oh, so excited. Well, that's when the RDA got stuck to the top cap, and I couldn't exactly pull it off to put it on like an ohm reader or anything like that. So I was like, oh, shit. Well, I knew the coils that I had came out. They were, these guys? I think so. Yep. There's some Coilology Aliens 0.1 ohms. 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 0.1 ohms it's like, oh, well, I really fucking hope to God they come out to be what it is they are, and I got it all pinched and pulsed and nice and glowing evenly. I'm like, alright, perfect. I have it all set up. I'll be able to use it. You know, like I'll get it wicked on my first break, and then I'll be able to use it. And I was able to get it wicked and going. No ohm reader. I do not suggest people do that because that shit is not. Know your ohms. But I trust these coils. I've been using these kind of coils for a long time. I trust what it is they have to say, and I know that they're going to come out to be 1 ohm. It's 0.1 ohm. These 0.8 ohm coils for the Orion Q. So I use the Orion Q way more. You know, I did pick up a new one, the Abalone one, Abalone Black. These are all Qs. I use all of them, daily throughout the day. And it works well. This hits nice. A higher nick actually works a lot better. I've noticed you get a little bit of a better throat hit. Hits better, tastes a little better. I actually only have like a 35 milligram of watermelon madness. I've been on a fucking watermelon kick. All over nuts. There's some shit. In case you're ever wondering what the singular best juice on the fucking planet is, let me introduce you. It's Down South Melon Lime Punch. It's just like the perfect combination of watermelon and like lime in a punch form, and it's just so damn good. Hope my fan isn't too loud. It gets kind of warm in here, so I like to have it on, keep air circulating. Plus, so that way my room's not all vapor. Oh, it's good. Now, onto the third topic of the night. Different chargers and what kind of charger you should probably either get or would probably work best for you. Now, I'm going to take my phone here. Now, I got 3... Look at that fucking desk. What a mess. Now, I got 3 kind of chargers here. I have the eFest Rapid Charger. You can see it on there right there. eFest Slim K2 charger. It works awesome. It's a little tube A, holds up to 21700s. Plug it right in via USB. It'll be blue once it's charged, white while it's charging. It's awesome for on the go. I always have one when I'm at work. For 18650s, I believe this is the Nightcore charger right here. Works really well. 18650s, 2700s, and 21700s, and 26650s. But I don't recommend using this one for larger batteries. I'm going to see if I can get up and close. If you see on that positive post, those 2 little nubbins have the tendency to tear the shit out of your wraps, and it's really fucking annoying. This one, I do not remember what it is called. Keystone is actually way better for 21700s and 2700s. Because if you look, that positive post is rounded, and so it won't tear the living shit out of your batteries and out of your battery wraps, which is... It's good. You want that. You don't want it to be tearing at your battery wraps, because that's just... Granted, rewrapping batteries is fairly easy. It just gets to be a nightmare after a while, especially since, I run a decent amount of mechanical mods. You gotta have your wraps in pristine condition. Oh, excuse me. I wouldn't leave you like... No comments. Teardrop. It's where I would put the timestamp if I had one. And last but not least, let's talk some mental health. Some stuff that's, I guess, I don't know, I think it's always on my mind one way or another. Fucking good. Okay. A bit of a dry throat. You'll have to excuse me. We even have another pink squares. That we can go back. So mental health. Why is it important for us to talk about mental health? Why will I always push the importance of mental health? Well, as someone who has always struggled with it, I think it's vastly important that we are able to be, open to talking about it. I see a therapist. I got a lot of depression problems, a lot of anxiety problems. Can't think of a situation where I never had to deal with it, or where it's never been like, I can go somewhere and I just feel like, I feel good, and just relax. Other than at home, probably, but that's a different story. There's been, so much shit going on in this world lately, there's been just constant fucking mass shootings going on. There's all this shit going on in Brazil, and with the Amazon burning down, in China, and Hong Kong with all the protesters fighting for their human rights. I think we need not forget the importance that we as people matter and that we're important, and I think that we really tend to forget that when we're caught up in everything that's going on in life. I got 2 different jobs that I have to worry about, and I have a lot of bills. I like to rack up credit card debt, and it brings me down. It's my own fucking fault. I have to worry about paying for cable. I have to worry about paying for, making sure that I can pay for my car to get to work in order to afford to pay for my car, because for some dumb fucking reason I got a really expensive car that I really enjoy having. It's a nice car and I like having it, but that thing costs a lot of fucking money, and that's, there's these stressors that we have in life that are either brought on or, they're just a natural part of life. You want to live somewhere, and that costs money, and I'm not lucky enough to have just one job to pay for it all. I have to work 2 jobs. I'm just not that lucky. I didn't get that lucky in life, and that's just is what it is. It's not the end of the world, but it just sucks. I grew up in poverty, and it, morphed my opinion on things, and never been afraid to work 2 jobs and to be stressed out and burnt out all the time because I have to work all the time. But I also understand that, eventually, I will have my own breaking point where I don't want to work 2 jobs anymore, nonetheless 1 job. My mental health will reach a certain point where it's not going to allow that anymore. And what am I going to do when I don't want to work in order to get money and be able to afford what it is I want to live? That's part of my mental health that I have to worry about. Dealing with any form of drama that happens at work, I have to learn how to deal with that. Knowing that I have a lot of emotional issues that affect relationships and that affect, the people that I'm closest with. Now, that's not something that I enjoy dealing with, but I have to. That's just all part of life. And, you know, I will always, always, always be an advocate for people to go out and to seek, you know, a mental health professional. Don't ever be afraid. Don't ever be afraid to say, hey, I'm struggling. I need help. I need to go speak to someone. I'm about to lose my shit. And then get away from wherever it is you are and seek help. Whether it be a friend, family, a coworker that you can trust. Never, ever be afraid to admit that you're in weakness or that you need to get the hell out of whatever it is you're doing currently. Because if you're not willing to listen, fucking bikers, whatever. Anyway, nothing against people that ride bikes, it's just sometimes that shit gets annoying. And whatever. And you know, just never be afraid to admit that you're in a moment of weakness and that you do need help. You know, there's nothing more important than being able to take care of your own mental health. You know, I've been in therapy since I was a little kid, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. I'm not afraid to admit it. You know, I've had mental health issues since as far back I can ever remember. I'm an adult, and I'm still, you know, I'm going on 30 here in January, and I still do therapy. I think it's important to have that outlook, to have someone who's not part of the situation that can challenge me and say, hey, this is a better way of handling this situation. This is a more proper way that you could probably deal with things. Or here's a different outlook. Use this and use these tools. And I want to challenge anyone that watches this. Don't be afraid to seek help. Whether it just be a friend, coworker, even just your mom or a grandma, or whatever it is, call them up and be like, hey, how you doing? You know, because what I find for me that works best a lot is to focus on somebody else other than myself. That's one of my best techniques to get me out of that depression. Help somebody else, you know. Attitude of gratitude. Sounds super cheesy, but it fucking works. Don't really have much else to say for this live. I will continue to post live videos up on YouTube. If anyone's interested, you can find them at Watchdog Vapes, the channel. I'll probably post a link back in the page if anyone's interested. I do post other videos that I don't have on here up on there, if in case anyone's interested. So feel free to go look it up, and don't be afraid to ever ask questions or to reach out. I'm always here. A lot of the people, the mods, they're always there for people. As a community, we have to stick together, whether it be defending our right to vape, like what's going on with Michigan and in San Francisco and everywhere else around in the United States, or it's a mental health problem, whatever it might be. Never be afraid to stand up and reach out to a brother or a sister in this group. And with that, I'm going to call it a night. Hope you all have a really good night. Keep on vaping and keep on vaping safely. This is Watchdog out.